Dear students, in this video we are going to read about the histology of nervous system. We have already learned about neuron, types of neuron and neuroglial cells under general anatomy. So, first thing, this slide shows the important one called neuron. Okay, look at this. This is a cell body, nerve cell body. This nerve cell body contains the pink color one, that is nucleolus. Inside that you will be having the nucleus, and the pink color, this one, this is called cytoplasm. These are the basic points about the nerve cell or neuron. Okay, and then you can see the axon as well as dendrites. You can see dendrites here. Now if you see this is about the coverings of the nerve. Okay, number one, this is one nerve fiber, this is one nerve fiber, and this is one nerve fiber. Each nerve fiber is covered by endoneurium. So this is endoneurium, and two nerve fibers, they join. Okay, and this is called as fascicle. So this fascicle is covered by perineurium, and like this, here also one fascicle, here one fascicle. So all these things together, it is called as nerve. So nerve is covered by epineurium. So this is MCQ. So over. So this is also over. So you are going to the main topic, what is called ganglion, because for the practical purpose in histology we will be giving you two slides that is related to ganglia. One is the sensory ganglion, another one is the autonomic ganglion. So what is ganglion? Ganglion is aggregation of cell bodies of neurons placed outside the CNS. What is CNS? Central nervous system. So you just tell us cell bodies of neurons placed outside the CNS. If it is placed inside, it is called nucleus. Okay, so inside nerve cell bodies aggregation, inside the central nervous system is called as nucleus, outside is called as ganglia. So these two are very important. Number 3, what are the types of ganglia? One is sensory ganglia, another one is autonomic, sensory and autonomic. In this video, we are going to discuss about the features of sensory ganglion and the features of autonomic ganglion. So both things we are going to discuss. Number 1, we are going to talk about the sensory ganglion. Sensory ganglion are the collection of cell bodies of sensory neurons, only sensory neurons. So you have to give us few examples. What are the few examples? This is your spinal cord. So this is the dorsal root of the spinal cord, and this is the ventral root of the spinal cord. In the dorsal root, you could see some bulge that is called dorsal root ganglia. So this dorsal root ganglia is one of the example of sensory ganglia. Like this, you have cranial nerves. Number 5, 12 pairs of cranial nerves are there. Among that, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10. All these cranial nerves, they have a new ganglion. They are also called examples of sensory ganglion, right? So you have these many cranial nerve ganglia as well as the dorsal root ganglion. These are the examples for sensory ganglion. And then if you see, this is spinal cord. The spinal cord, the nerves comes out, and here you can see the sympathetic chain. The sympathetic chain, you can see bulges. These bulges are called as sympathetic ganglia. So I'll erase and you can see clearly. So the spinal ganglia examples are dorsal root ganglia and the sensory ganglion of 6, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 cranial nerves, right? Okay. The one important MCQ lies in that. What is that? So I have told you 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 cranial nerve sensory ganglion are unipolar, except you might have learned about what is unipolar and bipolar. So all these neurons are unipolar, but this alone is bipolar. Okay, bipolar. So this is MCQ, bipolar. So you have given examples of sensory ganglion and you have seen what is called sympathetic ganglia. Next, now how to identify that? You can see lot of neurons, isn't it? They are called unipolar neurons or pseudo-unipolar neurons. They are seen as groups, isn't it? They are seen as groups. Here also you can see as groups, here also you can see as groups. In between nicely you can see the nerve fibers. Okay, scattered nerve fibers are seen and groups of neurons are seen. These neurons are pseudo unipolar neurons. This is the point number 1. Next, specify more. Here also you can see nerve fibers, and here also you can see nice neurons which are in groups. But what is peculiar in this, you can see the nucleus which is lying in the center. So it has centrally placed nucleus. So that is the second point. So first we saw unipolar neuron, and second we saw centrally placed nucleus, and third, one important thing, something is seen everywhere, see, which surrounds the neuron. You can see lot of cells. These cells are called, can you see the nuclei, dot dot dot, multiple dots, they are called as satellite cells. So satellite, what are satellite cells? Only 3 points you should recollect. One is, it is a glial cell which is seen in the peripheral nervous system. Number 2, it helps to regulate and stabilize the environment around the ganglia. Third, it's a most important MCQ, it is derived from neural crest cells, and function is it just supply nutrients as a protective agent. Okay, so these are the 4 points related to the satellite cells. So finished. And next, if you see the sympathetic ganglion, it also has a capsule, and there I said unipolar neurons, here I will tell multipolar neurons. There also you have nerve fibers, but there you have myelinated nerve fibers, but here you have unmyelinated nerve fibers. That is one important point. And same thing, capsule and all. But what about the nucleus? Look at the nucleus. Here you can see multipolar. Here you can see a dendrite. Here you can see a dendrite. So it is called multipolar. And number 1 point, it is multipolar. Number 2 is eccentrically placed nucleus. It is not center. See, it is also eccentrically placed. So eccentrically placed nucleus, number 2. And you don't see much of satellite cells, isn't it? So satellite cells are less in number and less prominent. These are the important points regarding the sympathetic ganglia. Next, this is the important picture what you have to draw in your record. So here you can see a circle. Inside that you can see, first you can see the capsule. First draw the capsule. After that, nicely you can see the neurons are drawn. Okay, they are called unipolar neurons. Where do you see the nucleus? You could put the nucleus in the center. And nicely you have to make satellite cells, lot of satellite cells, prominent satellite cells, and in between you can draw the nerve fibers. Everywhere you should put nucleus, that's a dot. Okay, that is about the spinal ganglion. Simple, very simple. Okay, next we'll move on to the sympathetic ganglia. Sympathetic ganglia, look at this. Here same thing, you have a capsule, very good, and you can see unmyelinated nerve fibers in between, scattered, and cells are not at all in groups. See, scattered cells, scattered neurons, multipolar neurons, number 1, and they are not in groups, they are scattered, and you can see the nerve fibers and eccentrically placed nucleus. 3 important points. One is multipolar neurons, eccentrically placed nucleus, and what about the satellite cells? I couldn't find any satellite cells, so less number of satellite cells. Finished. And now it's a test for you. You just see this big slide and find it out. What is it? So now you can see nicely, you can see neurons. They are in groups. So number 1 suggestion, groups. So what it could be? Next you should check the nucleus. It is centrally placed. Very good. Centrally placed. So with this we'll conclude. And another one important point, we should not miss that. Everywhere you could see nice cells that are satellite cells. See, everywhere satellite cells. So more prominent satellite cells are seen. So prominent satellite cells. So what it could be? These 3 features suggest this one is the slide of sensory ganglion. Right, very good. Next, this is a picture, that is a magnified view, and this is the picture what you can see. Here nicely I could see the neurons in groups. In groups means that is unipolar groups. I could see nicely the center dot. So it means centrally placed nucleus. These 3 suggestive of sensory ganglion. Very good. Done. And I could see the nerve fibers in between. So the groups the neurons are presented in groups between the nerve fibers. That's it. In groups between the nerve fibers. That is one important point. Next one, here also I could see the groups. I could see the capsule is on the top, and lovely centrally placed nucleus I could see. Same thing, groups, centrally placed nucleus, and in between nerve fibers. Satellite cells I couldn't see because it is a low power. So with this two we can conclude it is a sensory ganglion. Very good. Next, the difference, cell bodies are large and here the cell bodies are smaller and unipolar type except vestibulocochlear, that is 8th cranial ganglion. That's a very important MCQ. And this is multipolar, neurons with centrally placed nucleus, eccentrically placed nucleus, arranged in groups, not in groups, and myelinated fibers, unmyelinated fibers, prominent satellite cells, very important. Here less prominent satellite cells. These are the differences what we should see. Next, I will erase. Okay. Next, you should identify what it is. So how do you identify? Let us check. Okay, I could see scattered cells. I could see the nucleus where it is placed. Look at this. This nucleus is placed in the center or eccentric? Yes, very good. Eccentrically placed everywhere. If you see eccentrically placed nucleus, that is a cell, that is autonomic ganglia. Autonomic ganglia. Okay, done. Very good. Next, look at the difference between these two. You should identify what is this and what is this. Here we could see nicely cells are in groups. I could see lot of satellite cells beautifully which surrounds a neuron, centrally placed nucleus. So this is suggestive of I could see the nerve fibers in between. So this suggests, look at this, unipolar. Okay, unipolar. So this is sensory ganglia, and here you could see multiple. Okay, multipolar. So I could see multipolar, comparatively less number of satellite cells and eccentrically placed nucleus. Okay, that's suggestive of sympathetic or autonomic ganglia. Very good. Now it's time for us to do the MCQ. All the following statements are true except. So we should rule out. Spinal ganglion have unipolar neurons. So spinal ganglion, unipolar neurons. How to find it out? Spinal ganglion. This is the spinal ganglion. Unipolar, yes, it is unipolar. Centrally placed nucleus. Spinal ganglion unipolar, correct. Autonomic ganglion multipolar, correct. Spinal ganglion have continuous sheath of satellite cells, correct. Autonomic ganglion has centrally placed nucleus. This is your autonomic ganglia. Where is the nucleus? It is eccentric, so it is wrong. Very good. Okay, next one, we'll try this. Aggregations of cell bodies of neurons outside the CNS. Look at this point, it is outside the CNS. Outside the CNS means ganglion, because nucleus is inside the CNS, and axon and dendrites out. So we know that what is axon and what is dendrite. Very good. We'll move on to the next slide. Yes, all the following are true about sympathetic ganglion except sympathetic. Let us draw it first and then, okay, sympathetic ganglion, eccentrically placed nucleus, less prominent satellite cells. Let us see. First, it is given as unipolar, out. Eccentrically placed nucleus, correct. Scattered between the nerve fibers, correct. It is not in groups. Less prominent satellite cells, yes, correct. So the option exception is unipolar neurons. Done. Very good. Hope you understood the chapter properly. And fourth, neuron of the following sensory ganglion is bipolar. So which one is bipolar? I have already told 5, 7, 9. Oh, neuron of the following sensory ganglion is bipolar. So 5, 7, 8, 9. Repeatedly we have been telling one vestibulocochlear, that is 8th cranial nerve. That is bipolar. So done. Very good. Okay. Next one. Last. All the following are true about spinal ganglion except. So shall we draw the spinal ganglion? Okay, this is unipolar. in groups, centrally placed nucleus, and nicely it is surrounded by satellite cells. Okay, right. Unipolar correct. Large and arranged groups correct. What is this eccentrically placed? It is centrally placed. So wrong. Prominent satellite cells. Done. Very good. The last one is an important one. Bundle of nerve fibers. Nerve fiber. Each nerve fiber. It is surrounded by each nerve fiber. It is surrounded by endoneurium. Isn't it? Okay. That's all about all the things. Last, I will tell you how to draw. Okay. 1. Okay. Now, how to draw? We'll take this color to draw the capsule. So, first draw the capsule and you should draw the nerve fibers and then nicely unipolar neurons in groups. Here also you should draw the unipolar neurons in groups. Okay. Then what should draw? Take the hematoxylin and draw the centrally placed nucleus. Done. Very good. Centrally placed nucleus. And what else you should do? Draw prominent what cells? Satellite cells. More number of satellite cells. This is how you will draw. Okay, and then in between you should draw lot of dots. These dots are nothing but the nucleus. Okay, everywhere you should give dots. Done. This is about, so here you can show the neurons in groups and centrally placed nucleus, lot of satellite cells, prominent satellite cells. Very good. Then next, okay. Next also I will draw pink color capsule. So I will draw the capsule. Here it is prominent thin thick capsule, here thin capsule. Here you have myelinated nerve fiber. Here I should draw unmyelinated nerve fibers. Okay, here and there. And now I should draw the what neuron? Multipolar neuron, not at all in groups. Okay, separately I should draw multipolar neurons. And what type of nucleus I should show? Eccentrically placed nucleus. Eccentric, eccentric, eccentric. Okay, done. Eccentrically placed nucleus. And last is very few satellite cells. That's it. This is how we should draw. Hope you understood the class. If you have any doubts, please do contact me. Thank you.